There are moments in the spiritual life that seem so simple, so ordinary that we barely notice them. We rush through them, we repeat them mechanically, we take them for granted. One of those gestures is the sign of the cross, the movement of the hand from forehead to chest, shoulder to shoulder as we whisper, "In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit." For many it is habit, tradition, something learned as children and repeated without thought. But for Padre Pio, one of the most extraordinary mystics in the history of the Church, that simple gesture was anything but ordinary. It was a shield, a declaration, a weapon so powerful that the forces of darkness trembled at the very sight of it. And one day, in a vision granted by God, Padre Pio was shown what truly happens in the invisible world every single time a soul makes the sign of the cross. He never forgot what he saw. And once you hear it, neither will you. A spiritual reality hidden from the eyes of the world. Padre Pio lived his entire life between two realities: the visible world that we all inhabit, and the unseen world where angels, demons, and the grace of God constantly move. His days were marked by miracles, by encounters with souls begging for prayers, by battles with evil that sometimes left him physically wounded. But even among all those supernatural moments, this vision stood out. He told it quietly, humbly, almost as if he feared people would not believe how great a mystery God had revealed to him. But he insisted the sign of the cross is not just a symbol. It is not just a prayer. It is not just an introduction or a closing to some ritual. It is an earthquake in the spiritual world. Padre Pio described that he saw a simple Christian standing before God, an ordinary believer tired from life, surrounded by temptations and worries. Nothing dramatic, nothing extraordinary. And then the person slowly lifted their hand and began the familiar gesture. The moment the hand reached the forehead, Padre Pio saw a burst of light shoot upward like a flame. At the same moment, angels appeared, angels who had been watching quietly, respectfully, as if waiting for permission. The sign of the cross was the permission. The angels instantly stepped forward, surrounding the soul with a circling wall of protection. Their presence was calm yet fierce, like warriors taking their positions around a king. Padre Pio said the light that emerged from the gesture was so bright that darkness could not approach it. It spread outward like a shield, driving back shadows that had been invisible to the person making the sign. But Padre Pio saw them clearly: demons, temptations, and spiritual enemies that had been waiting for a weak moment. And now, terrified, they scattered as if struck by lightning. A seal written in the spiritual realm. Padre Pio saw that the sign of the cross placed something upon the soul, a mark, a seal, a spiritual signature that declared, "This soul belongs to Christ." He said that in the spiritual world, this seal shines more brightly than any earthly light. It cannot be faked. It cannot be erased by evil. It identifies the soul as a child under divine protection. To others around us, the gesture may look like a casual movement of the hand. But in the spiritual realm, it is a proclamation, a banner, a trumpet blast that announces the presence of God. Padre Pio once said, "The sign of the cross is a profession of faith, a shield against the enemy, and a door through which grace enters the soul." Demons recoil, not from the person, but from the power behind the sign. In his vision, Padre Pio saw demons react instantly when the sign of the cross was made. They did not flee because of the person. They fled because of the divine power that the gesture summons. He saw that temptations lost strength the moment the cross was traced. Whispered lies fell silent. Attacks that had been rising suddenly collapsed. The demons themselves covered, their faces unable to bear the brilliance that burst forth from the soul. Padre Pio said it clearly: nothing makes demons tremble more than the sign of the cross made with devotion. Even when made weakly, even when made with trembling faith, even when made by someone struggling in sin, it still carries power, because it calls down the one who conquered darkness forever. But the vision did not end there. Padre Pio saw that as soon as the sign of the cross was completed, from forehead to chest, shoulder to shoulder, grace descended like a fountain from heaven, and it poured directly into the soul. He described this grace as living light, a warm, strengthening, healing presence that filled the spaces where fear, discouragement, and confusion had been only moments earlier. Some graces strengthened the mind, some calmed the heart, some healed wounds that the person did not even know they had, and some simply reminded the soul that God was near, that they were not walking alone. Padre Pio said that one of the hidden gifts of the sign of the cross is clarity. Darkness confuses, distracts, and twists truth, but grace clears the vision of the soul, helping it to see what is right, what is wrong, what is from God, and what must be resisted. Padre Pio often warned people that the greatest spiritual battles happen quietly. They are fought in the mind, in the heart, in moments of temptation, worry, fear, or weakness. And he insisted that the sign of the cross is one of heaven's simplest and strongest weapons. He said it was a mistake to rush through it, to make it carelessly, to treat it as a routine, because heaven does not see it as routine. For Padre Pio, the sign of the cross was a declaration that Christ reigns, not only over the world, but over that moment, that situation, that fear, that temptation. He once told a spiritual child, "Make the sign of the cross every time you feel tempted. You will see how fast the enemy flees." A gesture that connects earth and heaven. Padre Pio's vision showed him that every time a believer traces the cross over their body, something profound happens. The natural meets the supernatural. A bridge is formed. Heaven leans close to earth. The gesture becomes an act of faith, a prayer without words, a reminder of Christ's sacrifice, and a silent cry for protection. It is the sign made over us at baptism. It is the sign that blesses us in the sacraments. It is the sign that precedes every prayer. It is the sign many make before sleeping, before traveling, before facing something difficult. And Padre Pio said that each time heaven responds. Padre Pio did not share this vision to impress anyone. He shared it to awaken people, to remind them of a truth that had been forgotten. He urged believers to slow down, to make the sign of the cross with intention, with awareness, with love. Because a careless gesture brings little spiritual fruit, but a reverent one brings heaven rushing to the soul. He himself made the sign slowly with deep devotion, as if touching something sacred, because he was. And we are too. The vision ends with a simple truth. Heaven is closer than we think. And the sign of the cross is one of the doors that opens it. Padre Pio's entire life testified to the power of humility, simplicity, and sincere faith. The sign of the cross is all three. It is small enough for a child to understand, yet powerful enough to shake the foundations of darkness. And every time you make it with love, with reverence, or even with a desperate heart seeking help, you repeat the same proclamation that Padre Pio saw shining in his vision. I belong to God. I call upon his protection. I walk in his light. In a world filled with confusion, noise, and spiritual battles hidden beneath the surface, the sign of the cross remains one of the most powerful, overlooked weapons of the Christian soul. Padre Pio saw it. He lived it. And he invites us to rediscover its power. All it takes is the simple movement of the hand and the whisper of a prayer that makes demons flee and angels draw near. We hope that this video has been to your liking and has helped you understand the importance of the sign of the cross. And if you like it, do not forget to give a like, share it, and subscribe to our channel for more beautiful visions from Padre Pio. And if you want to know more about interesting topics, leave us your comments and suggestions. Until next time.